Arsenal Fan TV here. We're live today here from the beautiful Emirates Stadium. It's so quiet down there, so airy, it's unbelievable. But I thought to myself, why not come down to the Emirates and do the show? I mean, I was sitting at home, I was bored, I'm missing this place, and I thought, I'm going to come down here to the Emirates and do our transfer show. Get out of these studios, let's take it outside. Been a nice evening, bit breezy down here, but I thought, let me come down here and do it. Now, listen, earlier on today, I asked people to send me in their tweets of players that they would like to see come to Arsenal, and we were totally inundated with people sending in their tweets. And I'm going to go through just a few of them, some of the transfer targets that you would like to see come in and playing at this place, the real theatre of dreams, next season. Let's run through some. I'm going to kick off with Illtown's finest. He said Robbie as manager for starters. I don't think that's going to happen, but thanks anyway. And he says Wayne Rooney or Higuain, and we will win something for sure. Now, to me, those are the two targets that one of those two I would love to see come to Arsenal. Rooney, I don't care what people are saying. I know he used to play for Man United, or should I say used to. He still plays for Man United. But I would love to see Rooney at the Emirates. He'd be passionate. He'd score goals. We know that he'd score goals here. And I think it would be amazing if he came down here. And then again, Higuain, I think he's a classy player. We've seen him play for Real Madrid. Never really had his chance there, but he's an Argentinian international and he is absolute class. Just what we need here to complement the excellent squad that we already have here at the Emirates. Let's keep running through them. Mikey Slingsby said, I'd love to see Wanyama at Arsenal because he's a big defensive player who can break down play and he'll help the back four. Now, we definitely need a central defensive midfielder, and Wanyama, we saw him in the Champions League against Celtic. He's big, he's imposing, he's quick, and he's only 21, 22 years of age. He would definitely be an excellent addition here at Arsenal. Whether Celtic will be willing to sell or what sort of money they'll want to sell him for, that's a different matter. But hey, we're supposed to have money, so that shouldn't be an issue. William COYG says Benteke would be good competition for Giroud. I think Rooney would upset the harmony of the team. Now, I don't agree with Rooney upsetting the harmony of the team. I think Rooney, I mean, he plays with Theo and plays with Ox and Jack Wilshere at England. So why would he upset the harmony of the team? We're the British core, remember? We call the British. We're carrying the hope of England. So Rooney would fit in like a glove at England. And Benteke definitely would be another player that would be very exciting at Arsenal. I'm not sure, though. Could he be a bit like Papi Cisse last year and Jelavic, where they started their first season and they were on fire, and then the next season loads of people worked them out? The jury's still out for me with Benteke, but he is definitely a quality player. Nathan says, Fabregas, true legend. Miss seeing him in an Arsenal shirt. Come home, says Fabregas. Now, we've been linked heavily with Fabregas, but I reckon he's definitely going to stay at least for another season at Barcelona. If there was a hope of him coming, I, like every other Arsenal fan, would love to see Cesc Fabregas back here at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal FC says, for a central defensive midfielder, Robbie, I want Paul Pogba. I think he's a very intelligent signing, and he has everything a CDM needs and more. Now, Paul Pogba, of course, used to play for Manchester United, left there on a free, joined Juventus, and has been excellent at Juventus. Lots of people calling him the new Vieira. They seem to call every player the new Vieira. But definitely Paul Pogba, I think, again, that would be a very good signing here at the Emirates if we could make that happen. They're talking about £70 million if Juventus would be willing to sell. But if they sold him, because they got him on a free, it'd be pure profit for them. So they may be willing to do business. Chris Adset says... Chris Adset says Gareth Bale. He said, the lot up the road have only just recovered from the Sol Campbell incident. Imagine the uproar. I'll tell you what, I'd love that if Gareth Bale came down there. Could you imagine? I think you'd see Daniel Levy swinging from up there off one of those posts. Definitely from some of my Tottenham mates anyway. Glorious Cummins says, he said, I'll sign Higuain. Proven goal scorer. He's played at the highest level. And he also says Strootman as a defensive midfielder, good strength and pressing. Strootman, of course, the Dutch player. Again, very good central defensive midfielder. No nonsense. Yes, he could definitely do a job here at Arsenal. Ariel Gabriel says, if wages is the only thing preventing us from getting Rooney, we should be able to afford him after all the deadwood wages are cleared. Now, that's a very, very true thing. Wages should not be a problem. We've just got rid of Arshavin. We've just got rid of Denilson. All these players coming off of our wage bill right now. So money should be there on top of the supposed 70 million we've already got to spend. Why not? Rushang says, we need a defensive midfielder, someone like Wanyama. Another shout there for Wanyama. He said, David Villa seems realistic. Despite his age, he can score 20 plus goals. Now, of course, I'm a bit worried about the age of David Villa, 31 going on towards 32. That is kind of old. I'm not sure if Arsene Wenger's going to risk it for a player that age. I mean, how much more would we get out of him? One thing for sure, like Rushang says, he is a proven goal scorer, and I know that he'd score goals in the Premier League, but it's just the age thing that worries me with David Villa. Arsenal fan says Rooney, top finisher, Fabregas, creative, Lars Bender, and we had a lot of shouts for Lars Bender. He's very powerful, and he says also Ashley Williams, strong and British, and Cesar, world class. Now Cesar, again, I think that'd be a good shout as a keeper, experienced keeper, Brazilian international, once considered the best goalkeeper in the world, remember, when he was at Inter Milan. And he will be able to nurture and bring through Wojciech Szczesny. Szczesny, a very, very good goalkeeper, but not quite ready yet. I think that's a good shout. I'd like to see Cesar come. And, of course, he'll be playing out of his shirt next season because Brazil are playing in the World Cup. So he's going to want to put in a very, very good performance. Them two guys official, he says, Rooney, experience in the Premier League, quality striker, and wants to leave United anyway. Lots of shouts for Wayne Rooney. This is just a few of the ones I picked out, but I'd say majority of Gooners really want Rooney to come in. Piszczek, Dortmund right back, solid replacement for Sanya, 28, so perfect until Jenkinson is ready. Ariel Gabriel, says Julio Cesar again. He says can't compete with a 23-year-old. JC is 34 and he won't delay Szczesny's development too long. What the point I was making just before then. Marky Nguyen, our nervous Gooner, he says so many names popping up, but he'd like to see the return of Cesc Fabregas. He said that would be amazing. And he says Alaba from Bayern Munich. Now, that's a good shout. Alaba, we saw him in the Champions League. Excellent player. I think he's playing, right back or left back, is it, for Bayern Munich, where his preferred position is actually as a central defensive midfielder. Would Arsenal be able to get him away from Bayern Munich after they've just won the treble? I very much doubt it. And last one, Oliver Davis says, Higuain up front for sure. He's keen to join too. We need speed. Rooney's good, but he's a bit too slow. And he said, Robbie, you in goal. If you want us to get relegated, put me in goal, mate. Now, listen, there's so many names being linked, but there's one thing for sure. The guys that reside inside this stadium here, they need to spend some money this summer. Money needs to be spent. You're looking at some of the names we're being linked with, Wayne Rooney, Higuain. These guys are not going to come cheap. Jovetic. Chelsea are getting stronger. Mourinho's back and they're spending loads of money. Manchester City are making moves. We've seen with Fernandinho, £30 million. Havas, Navas, they're not messing about. United will do business. Even clubs like West Ham trying to sign players like Soldado from Valencia shows that next season it's going to be very competitive. It's not going to be a given to even challenge. So Arsenal must spend a lot of money in the transfer window. They must bring in some marquee signings so that the people coming here next season spending loads of money on their season tickets will see a team that challenges for that Premier League. Well, we're down here at the Emirates. There's no football being played. I don't know, I think I'm just going to take a stroll around and just reminisce.